Mhm. There's a Mhm. Hi, it's Laura D'Amato, the principal of Jefferson School, and I welcome you all to our virtual open house. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. We know that this is quite a different experience. Usually it is 1,000 people trying to park and come in, and the energy, it becomes a community day of sorts. Hi, for it's our Donato, the principal of Jefferson School, for our open house. And the timing of the links and moving from one group to another is something that we tried to make the easiest for you to be able to move from me to 7 o'clock at the classroom presentations, then the PTA meeting, and then the special areas at 7:45. All those links are in the email that I sent out, except for 210 and 212. They are sending their links out through their Blooms and their platform that they use to communicate with the families normally. And they also sat with their children to show them how to get you into their open house, because we all know, all of us, I have 3 grown children, and we know that that is usually how we find our way into these things. So just a couple little tidbits of the first month, I guess, of school. We have had a wonderful time having children back in the building, and our enrollment is a little high compared to other years, but it has been a wonderful experience this past month, trying to keep everybody safe and all the children listening and following the directions with their masks and understanding the social distancing, that we really are just trying to be the least restrictive environment for while the children are getting back into the flow of interacting with each other and with their teachers. There always seems to be a trend, every different couple of years. There are still some trends that I see that 22, 23 years ago, when I started in the district, we saw, the certain little games that the kids were playing, they slap each other in the back of the neck, and it becomes a big issue. Those little, and they think that of course, that they invented the game, and then we all left. But those type of little things really have been quiet, and the children have been very respectful with each other as they're getting to know each other. And the trick too of being new and getting to know each other while we're all wearing masks, and for some reason this phenomenon of having trouble hearing each other with our masks on, that is something that we're all working on and practicing, as there's 700 of us in the school building. So another trend that we see is the social media influence, things that are seen on TikTok and different sites of videos that the children like to pretend they are mimicking. And like one little, I couldn't even tell you what it's called, to be honest with you, but they're taking the little USB mouse wireless thing out of each other's Chromebooks as I guess, to tease each other. And of course, I explained to them that is considered stealing, and we are not going to be doing that anymore. So those are very minimal type behaviors that 99.9% of our school day, we are seeing leaders. They are learning their habits. They have gone through some introductory things with our Blue Knight Nickel. That is a reward system that will be totally pushed out over the month of October. So you'll be hearing more about that. And really, it's just a purpose to reinforce positive behavior and respectful behavior. We use common language of the habits. One thing that we always have said is that our children are leaders now. You know, you see a lot of commercials and things for future leaders. Jefferson does not have future leaders. We have leaders right this minute. And it's funny that when you all use the common language, the children do walk taller and they carry themselves respectfully, and each other they treat with care. So it's been a nice thing to see after so long of really not interacting with each other. One last thing, of course, that I want to touch on, the cell phones. We know that they are to be off and in their backpacks during the day. They are not allowed on buses to be used while their children are on our bus. But I understand that many of you like to get a text while your child is getting on the bus or off the bus, and that is fine. But in the school building, they are to be off in their backpack. If the children sometimes are caught with the cell phone, the common excuse is that, well, my mother wanted me to text her, or, you know, my father asked me to call him at my lunch. And I like to tease them and say, well, you know, let's call together, because I'm pretty sure that your family is okay without you while you're at school. So that is something that, you know, we are trying to stay on top of now that the children are more comfortable with their cell phones all day from being home all that time. So that is something that I'm sure that will be tightened up over the next week or two as the children are getting settled and seeing what our expectations are. So as always, anything that you need, contact the main office and Ms. Sumner, our school nurse. We have a lot of information out on the PTA page and Instagram and all those things that we like to put out for Jefferson School. Our actual school website, I don't know if you've heard this at the other open houses, the company or website platform that the district is using will be moving over the next couple weeks to a new system. So that's exciting that we're going to have another opportunity to launch and go big with things going on at Jefferson. But of course, right now, there is our school website that has some basic information about schedules and things that you may need, contact numbers and things like that. So always too, with everything going on with the cooties, I like to call them, in the building. I know it's a 10-year-old language, but the if you are the slightest bit worried if your child has a cough or a sniffle, a headache, a fever, or someone in your family, please always try to keep them home. And all the work that they would need would be in their Google Classroom, even though we are not live teaching, but they would have their Chromebook home with them, and they would be able to keep up with some assignments. Obviously, it does not replace live teaching, and they may miss a lesson just as if they were sick in years past. But you also, it's very important for you to know on our end of it, we know that your child is home for reasons that we're all just trying to get through this together as a team. So they would never be held against them if they missed a lesson or an assignment while they were home, just really doing their part in the community service, in a sense, to stay home and to quarantine if that's what's asked of them, or if that's what you decide. And just communicating that to us, we would make sure it's marked appropriately in their record and not be an unexcused absence or a concern of that nature. So that is our first priority, is keeping everybody healthy. And once we have that in place and all of their leadership skills, it is definitely guaranteed to be an amazing, successful school year. And I have said to many of the classes that last year's children really did not get to have the Jefferson experience in a sense. And so these children that we have here today, they are going to impress us and make the best of it, and always prove that they are ready to move on to the middle schools by the end of the school year. So we know how urgent and important this school year is normally for all of our children, and we take it very seriously. So that they find an academically successful year and a socially successful year. So right now, I am going to thank you all for coming and joining my piece. And at 7 o'clock, I'm giving you a couple minutes now to sign off from me and sign into your classroom presentations. And then you will be able to find the link to the PTA meeting either through my email from today or from Ms. Ahern, our PTA president, her email that went out earlier today as well. So thank you for joining us. And I guess we should all feel happy that we didn't have to deal with the parking lot and issues like that. And it was just drizzling over Union a little bit. And then we had a beautiful, beautiful sunset. So everybody have a wonderful night. And thank you, of course, for joining us.